To check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. All right, we move on to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The New York Knicks at Atlanta Hawks. Knicks 3-3, 2-2 on the road. Hawks 4-2, 1-1 at home. State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The Hawks are 6-point favorites. This total is at 221.5. The Knicks pace is 26th in the league at 98.92 possessions a game. Hawks are 10th, 102.67. Knicks have won 3 of 4 to draw back to 500 on the season. They're coming off an impressive 106-102 win at Indiana. They shot 50.6% from the field, 44.4% from 3. RJ Barrett, our man, 8 of 15 from the field, 4-5 from 3 for 25 points and just 1 solitary turnover. Julius Randle, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Austin Rivers looked very dangerous coming off the bench, 15 points in 17 minutes. And with guards Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., both week to week, Alec Burks day to day, you know that Austin's going to get more and more run. Right. Now we get to the Hawks. After opening the season with 3 straight wins, Atlanta's lost 2 of 3. They're coming off a 96-91 loss at home to the Cavs. Trae Young was just 6 of 16 from the field for 16 points, 10 assists. He also turned the ball over 6 times, averaging 28.2 points per game. Feels like a bounce-back spot for him. Danilo Gallinari is out for at least 2 more weeks. Herter and Rajon Rondo are day-to-day and not going to be in the lineup. Here we go. Knicks, Hawks. We're going to start with Wham Bam. Take it away.
Yeah, man. Like we mentioned the last time we talked about the Cavs, reason why we like the Cavs, because they held them to that 35 points in the second half. This team didn't get any praise from their coach after the game. They were actually up by 12 points in that halftime. That's how the Cavs just turned it around. Like you said, in the tails of 2 halves, it was like that in this game. This coach, Lloyd Pierce, come out and says, like, basically, he didn't trust them, and he doesn't seem like they were competitive in that first half, even though they were up by 12 points. That just shows me that these guys are just kind of lollygagging out there, thinking they could do whatever they want because they have a good team now. You know what I mean? They got great players. They have a good team. They feel a little bit more too cocky in this spot, and they got their ass handed to them. So I feel like this is a good spot to bounce back with the Hawks. Just based off of that alone, and also they're going to get the right teachings from this coach. I actually had him for coach of the year because I seen this team morphing into something because of the additions that they made, and I think that's going to get credited by the journey here. And I think this is a part of the journey here. So I like the Hawks. I haven't made this official. This is one of those plays I do want to wait and see what you guys have to say. You know what I mean? Because we've been. I'm not trying to be left behind here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be a little bit more on the safe side. So this is one of those plays I did want to look into just because of the matchup here. Kind of want to see what you guys have to say.
Well, let's hear what Dutch has to say. Interesting spot here, Knicks Hawks.
Okay, so just numbers-wise, let's go with the Knicks here. They're 5-1, 1 ATS in their last 7 versus Atlanta. 3-0-1 in the last 4 in Atlanta. Now Atlanta's 0-4-1 in their last 5 home games, ATS. And now the last 3 between each other, the games have went over. Now over has actually hit 13 in the last 19 times between each other, and the over is 9 and 11 in the last 12. Or excuse me, 9 and 3 in the last 12 in Atlanta. So simply what I could look for here is I expect points. When I look at Atlanta, I look at a lot of offensive talent and not so much defensive talent. Obviously, with Gallinari being out, that goes against that. But pretty much the whole roster, they look more to get it up and down, especially with the starts with their best player. Their best player is Trae Young. He focuses more on the offensive end, not so much on the defense, and that tends to linger over with the complete team. So it screams over to me. And when you look at the numbers, the Knicks are playing good ball too. To be honest with you, the numbers scream full game. But when I look into it a little more, and especially with Atlanta coming off a loss, the last 3 games, the Knicks are plus 15 at half against Atlanta, 69-54 average. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Knicks first half and full game over, Jimmy.
Ooh, very interesting. Dutch gets on the board here with Knicks first half, which I'm not sure is let's see if I can see if I can get it here. First half is available. So he's on the Knicks plus 3.5 at minus 114. Let's see if maybe we can get a better line for you at circa no.
Yeah.
3.5.
I love that number though.
Yeah, 3.5 is nice.
I think they'll be up at half, to be honest with you. But we'll take the 3.5 for show purposes.
All right, 3.5.
And Atlanta coming off a loss, I mean, I think they'll probably pull out the W, but I do think it's going to come. These games have been close. So I'm going to stay away from the full game. But I lean Knicks full game, but definitely going to lock in that first half plus 3.5 in the over full game.
And you're getting a half point better at FanDuel. So both of these are at FanDuel. Over 221.5, minus 110. Both at FanDuel.
Now, from a prop perspective, Trae Young, like you mentioned, he did have a bad game, so that just plays into this even more. The last 3 games versus the Knicks, these numbers are crazy, Jimmy. And Wham, 44 points a game, 10 assists the last 3 versus the Knicks. He's going for 35 plus, so we're going over anything under 30. And hopefully, with the assist too, but I know he's going to bang them points. But he's been getting a lot of assists as well against them. And then we're going to from a New York aspect, we're going to look at my guy, and also, like I believe you mentioned, he's averaging Young's averaging 28.8 for the season. So he gets numbers, but he even shows up even bigger against New York. And my guy Randall from New York, he's averaged in the last 3 matchups as well. He's averaged 28 and 13. Versus the Knicks. So he eats, and he's actually getting 21 and 10 on the season. So I like what I've seen from Randall. This is a very good matchup against Atlanta. He's pretty strong down low. He seems to get what he wants, rebounding and scoring aspect. So I'm looking for both of these guys to take care of business. If we could get a nice looking prop on either one of these two, I'd like to lock it in as well.
Trae Young over 29.5 points is juiced to the under. So you get it at minus 106.
Do we have assist points and assist or no?
Yes, I believe we do. Let me move over there. Yes, Trae Young points and assists is at 39.5, and that's slightly juiced to the over.
And you said the over on points is 29.5?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll lock in the points.
Points are locked in. And then how do you want to handle Julius Randle points? He's at 23.5.
And points and rebounds?
Points and rebounds. Let's do that right now. Points and rebounds for Julius Randle's at 34.5, juiced to the under.
Okay, so we'll go points and rebounds over.
Ooh. Wow. Firing 4 shots, 4 bullets.
Let's go.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, or I told, like I said pregame, I got 8 plays, 4s on this game. So when I pass on a couple of these others, you know why. But this game I like a lot. I expect a lot of points. I expect a lot of scoring, and I expect a couple guys to get some big numbers. Numbers all around, but these 2 guys are going to get what we need to get.
Oof, that'll be a fun watch for you tomorrow night.
Yes,
Over
sir.
Tonight, I guess. Okay, Wham Bam. This game makes me uncomfortable. I mean, now hearing Dutch's looks, I see what he's seeing with the scoring, and the Knicks are just playing at a slow pace. And the Trae Young thing, if this was in MSG, I mean, I really wonder what some of these young guys who love showing out in places like LA and New York in front of the fans are going to do. I know that they're comfortable in Atlanta when no one's there, but we know what happens when the Knicks or Lakers come to Atlanta. The place is packed for one of the few times all season, and that's not going to happen here tonight. Wham, how are you handling Knicks Hawks?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I failed to mention on the Orlando game that they do have fans there, but it was just a mix of OKC fans as well. So you know how Orlando gets. It was only 4,000 though. But in this game, I'm not sure if Atlanta has availability of fans yet, but like you said, man, it's not going to be that type of atmosphere there, even if it's 2,000, 4,000 of people in there. You never know. If we were in OKC, those 4,000 might make some noise, as much as they be making noise out there. But as far as this game, I honestly think it's kind of tricky just because this is one of the longest injury reports. Have all these guys out. As far as Herter is one of those key guys, man, to me. I feel like if he's not available, that's somebody that you have to look at there as well. And like you said, the pace, man. The New York Knicks, they shoot 10 less threes a game. They're about the same in 3-point percentage, if I'm not mistaken. But I honestly wouldn't trust. I wouldn't trust either one of these teams down the stretch. That's the reason why I kind of don't want to go and jump in on the Atlanta Hawks, because I could see Brooklyn. I mean, the Knicks. I can see the Knicks taking this, all the way down the wire. So I'm just stay off of it.
All right. Well, we don't need to worry because Dutch is firing shots at this game. Knicks first half plus 3.5, over 221.5. Trae Young over 29.5 points, and Julius Randle over 34.5 points and rebounds. And he's going against the market with the Young points prop and the points and rebounds prop. Exciting.
Nice.
Fuck the market, man.
Let's go.